off.
All right.
And
Hopefully it starts.
also, let's see.
Yeah, other games.
And who's on board too?
Oh, how funny! Like, I got a commercial. I'm not used to getting a commercial. So if we are live, welcome to the Mechanics Institute. I'm Abel Talamantes, chess director, and with me is FIDE master Paul Whitehead, arena master Paul Whitehead, and we are here covering the final two rounds of the final Tuesday night marathon of 2020, of a crazy 2020. And board one right here is Grandmaster Gadir Guseynov, who leads the TNM by a full point, playing National Master Michael Walder. And we know Michael Walder, and we know he prepared for this game. How's it going, and what do you think so far?
Well, I mean, this G4 is hyper aggressive. White's not even bothering to castle queenside. He's just going to play H4, H5, and then open black up like a can of tomatoes. But I don't know. It looks about level chances. Maybe black should try to break in the center with E6 now, or I mean, there's probably various ways to play with black.
And this tournament is Game in 35 with 2-second increment. Chief Tournament Director is Judith Stare, who is in the back room starting all the games right now. These games are all manually paired, and it adds an extra tournament flavor by doing that, because players can then request buys and all of that stuff. So
and complain about the pairings.
Complain about the pairings or do something. So give that actual tournament experience that we all love, right? So thank you to Judith for all she does, working hard behind the scenes in the office, the virtual office. So let me put up the link, so anyone tuning in and watching, you want to see what the current standings and see the full pairings. I am going to put it in the Twitch chat right now. There it is. You can take a look. But board two is International Master Elliot Winslow, and he is playing National Master Kirit Panuganti, UC Berkeley student, and here it is, right here. Elliot is white.
Okay, Elliot. And this looks like it's booked too. This is a dragon. Came out of dragon variation with D4. White's
the Rouser variation with D5.
The Rouser, huh?
Yeah.
It might have transposed into a dragon after that.
Yeah. It says both.
Black usually is okay in these kinds of positions.
And
complicated. I mean, it's still, up in the air.
And we have a shocking development on board three with Ashik Uzman and Kyron Griffith, and I only say shocking because Uzman has used more time than Kyron Griffith. Typically doesn't happen, but look at this position.
So is this some kind of opening trap that White's fallen into here? Because it certainly looks like he's losing the rook at H1.
Yeah, right? Like there's... I don't see a way out of that.
Well, I don't either, actually, at the moment. Queen F6.
But then just rook G8,
then,
and then that's it.
Or even queen takes H1, queen H8, queen G1 check.
That's right. You're taking the knight with check, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, something happened. Let's take a couple of...
this is not good.
This
Karen's getting a free point here.
This is what happened here. and out of a Karo Khan, of course, because that's Kyron's opening. Took the knight there.
This looks like a trap. Ooh, bishop a4 is risky, obviously.
And then there.
So
What? That was the blunder, right? I mean, wouldn't you just go?
yeah, let's see what happens after knight f3 instead.
And knight f3 seems like the logical. Like, was there something?
Maybe g5. As crazy as it looks, that might actually work.
Oh.
The queen is forced off of the fort, has no safe square.
Yeah, and the queen needs to stay on
Protecting the
rank.
bishop.
Yeah,
it's an odd looking move, but I think it works.
And I'm pretty sure this had to have been prepped since Kyron.
Yeah, it looks like some kind of standard trap. Yeah, if you play c4, then black could just take the queen and then take the bishop at a4. So
very tough. Let's
yeah, so Alexi, hi Alexi.
Hey Alexi, yeah.
She's just saying if you play c4, but then black can play g takes h4, c takes d5, rook takes a4. Yeah. Okay, wait a minute. We're overlooking something. Queen f7 check or bishop d7 check is possible.
Oh, yeah.
Bishop f7 check.
Yeah, we didn't look at that.
Is this some kind of brilliancy here? Bishop f7 check, king g7.
But what is there? I mean, you take the knight check, king e2.
Well, wait a minute. It's white's move here.
Oh, is it white's move? Oh, yeah, you just took the rook. Because it seems to me if black just plays king d8, then what? If you took with
the queen.
The queen. Took f7.
Yeah, and then going back to f6 doesn't do anything. He just goes king c7 and starts to wiggle out. So what about bishop f7 check, king g7? That doesn't look like it works either.
Like he runs away to that.
Yeah, he's going to zigzag out to c7.
Yeah.
I'll bet you this is an opening trap.
And we'll ask him in the chat if he comes back in the chat. We'll ask about that.
Yeah.
Let's go back to board one because it looks like moves have been played here.
Yikes.
It's getting exposed.
White finally castles. Black is rickety as heck here. So let's see. If rook f3 is almost possible here, because if rook h5, queen e3. So on rook takes f3, maybe, I'm not sure. Very tactical.
Rook f3, huh?
If rook h5, black can play queen to e3 and trade the queens. And then black is probably doing very well there. Oh, maybe not. Rook h7 check, king g6, rook takes e7, then bishop f5. Black's got the g pawn. White takes the a pawn as well. I don't know. That's a little risky too. But this is like, you live by the sword, die by the sword here.
Yeah, I mean, that looks, yeah, rook f3.
Hold on a second. I'm going to go grab my lamp. I look like the Green Goblin.
And no one wants to look like that, right? So let's go back to Kyron's game here. Or Ashik thinking.
It might help a little bit. Lighting is something I've got to figure out.
Yeah, yeah, looks good. It looks like you're meditating. Like you're in a
That's better,
meditative
huh?
you're in a meditative state.
Okay. So what's going on here?
Man, nothing yet. Ashik is trying to figure out the best way to proceed here.
Well, there's always resigning, right?
It's always the option. Unplug
Resigning is not an option.
unplug your computer.
This is hard. I mean, you can tell it's an opening trap. So,
And Alexi's saying that's better lighting, so
all right.
you're good.
Well, I'm going to listen to the experts here.
And Vishwa is saying he played Matteo Hansen over the board in January, and he's playing him now.
All right, we can't look at that game.
And as a rule, when you mention something like that, we can't look at it.
So Gadzhir is playing from where is he exactly?
I think he's in.
Is he in Azerbaijan?
Yep. I think that's where he's.
Wow.
At. Let's go back and look at if anything's happened. And Rook F3 was played by Mike.
Hanging on by the skin of his teeth. So, I mean, Black has this dangerous G-pawn. If Rook H5, Queen E3, Rook H7 check, King G6, Rook takes E7.
Wow, rookie one.
You know, just White is in such fighting trim here. So Rook B3 probably gets mated after Rook E7 check.
Oh yeah.
Wow. That's a little mind-boggling, isn't it? Rook takes B3. Rook E7 check. I have a feeling Black is not going to survive that.
And Queen H6 or whatever.
Yeah, and plus he can take the bishop and then continue the attack. Very, very dodgy for Black.
Lots to think about there. Let's take a look at Elliot's game.
Yeah. Yikes.
And Black looks like poised to attack himself.
Well, he's tied up there. That knight on E4 is just beautiful. Black's in a little bit of a bind here. And Knight D4 isn't going anywhere. Even if White is forced to take on D4, which he's probably not, then unless Black can somehow free this bishop up at G7, White's got a nice bind here. But converting is going to be difficult. It's not going to be easy. This is a nice move, Queen D8. The idea of Rook D1 check. It's a tough one. It's a tough one.
Look at these games. So I'm switching to the game between Pudor Ramaswamy and Akko Hidari. Look at this.
Black's building up on the king side here.
This configuration here.
Boy, this is a complicated looking game.
Wait till I show you the next one.
Yeah, Black needs to get something going here because he could get into a lot of trouble on the queen side if he doesn't.
So on the very next
interesting
board, this is Nicholas Wang against Tom Mazer.
Wow, this is the old timer versus the young timer.
That's right, and I think it was last week Tom Mazer was in the chat saying that there's probably a 65 year age difference between him and his opponent. And I think it's almost that again.
Yeah, for sure, if not more.
Yeah.
Amazing.
But
Well, then,
Tom goes rook g8. He's looking to fight back here.
yeah, I'm looking. I'm rooting for the oldster. Still, I kind of like Black's position seems a little rickety. I don't know. This is some kind of Lopez with Black fianchettoing. Is that right?
That's right, Roy Lopez, the modern Steinitz.
Modern Steinitz, yeah.
Isn't that like
Okay.
isn't that like an oxymoron, like the modern Steinitz?
Yeah, I think that's with A6 and then D6 instead of just D6 right away. White looks like if Queen G6, then Knight G3. Wow. There's a lot to calculate here.
Hey, let's go back to Kyron Griffith's game because it looks like Oshik took the rook. And then we're here in this position.
After putting that black king on that awkward square. Right.
And Kyron's up a pawn, it looks.
And a piece.
Well, it's the...
Black's up a whole piece here.
A piece for pawns.
For two pawns, yeah, but it's Black's move.
But a piece is a piece?
Yeah, and it's Black's move. That counts for a lot. I mean, just bishop c. Okay, so bishop c5, then bishop e6 check, and or queen e8, king c7. That doesn't work. I think Black is just on his way to the win here.
And
it's can require some accuracy though.
And we find it a little hard to believe if this wasn't something known already, right? Let's go to board one. Let's take a look at this here.
Oh, so just the king boldly takes the pawn at g6. So what happens if after rook e7? Is Black going to just kind of hold with bishop f5?
And Mike Walder has offered him a draw right here.
I don't know what to say about that. It might be a good move because it might be a good draw for what it says to me is that Michael thinks he's better and can't find a good continuation for whites.
And the other thing too is a draw might at least clinch tie for first for Gadir, right? Because he's already up a full point.
Right. Where's yeah. But see, what I think is that Mike looked around and saw that if rook takes e7, bishop f5, and maybe thought that Gadir, he couldn't see anything for Gadir, and thought that maybe he's even a little better.
Yeah, and he wouldn't have offered if he didn't think that, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he's strong enough to know that Gadir is just going to turn him down like that if he's still winning.
And they think like that too. I remember when we had Alex Lenderman in the we were interviewing him, and he was saying, I think when he was playing Rui, if she had offered me a draw there, I think I would have taken it, and then I play white in the final round, and I would have gotten some rest, and so you never know, right? I mean.
Yeah, I mean, what Gadir is looking around, and if he doesn't see anything, clear, then Black has his pluses too. He's up 2 pawns. He's threatening rook takes b3, and so it could be a really good draw on Black's part. White takes some chances by playing for a win here. If there's no clear continuation. Rook e7, bishop f5 has a kind of a nice look to it. Covers the king side, aims at c2. The threat of rook b3 is on.
Let's take a quick look at
Interesting.
game between Nathan Fong, Go Bears, who is white, against National Master Eric Hahn. This is a pretty good matchup. Pretty good, some pretty good players.
Oh yeah.
But again, I mean, both players are sitting here on move 19. Neither is castled.
I know. What's with that?
There's a lot of that going on tonight.
I mean, Black's Black's down the exchange, but has a really kind of a nice position in a way.
Got the two bishops.
Very sharp. Very sharp.
A lot of sharp games tonight.
Yeah, this is some kind of winnower French or something.
This was out of a Sicilian, actually.
Oh. Well, excuse me.
Yeah. Get
Threatens
it
Queen
straight.
D
Get it straight.
and brings the queen back into the game. Well, maybe White's just better here, being up the exchange. Queen D2 now, something safe and
And they drew.
interesting.
They drew. Gadir accepted the draw.
Is that right?
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I'd be interested in, in
Oh
maybe
wow!
Michael
Oh
Walter.
wow! So I just hit the analysis, so I saw it. Should I say it?
Sure.
The computer showed Mike Walder -3 up.
You mean up 3?
Up 3. Black is better. -3.
Yeah. So maybe White just has nothing here
Yeah.
and is down 2 pawns.
Yeah.
So it was a good draw acceptance.
Good draw acceptance, but was it a good draw offer?
That's a good point. Maybe not such a good draw offer.
So I'd be curious if he has time. I know Mike Walder's in the tournament chat saying he's going to go get more coffee, but
Yeah, maybe he can
maybe we could talk about it.
things. Yeah.
So let's go. Well, congratulations to Mike for getting that draw, but let's curious to hear his thoughts of if you think he might have had more. Let's go to Elliot's game and take a peek there.
Who is Aching Golf again?
That's Alex Chin.
Okay.
And he co-wrote an article with Alexi Root on chess and golf.
Right.
Yeah. As has Reika Starry.
So
Hey, Alex.
if I was on the golf course, I would be throwing pawns or something into the golf holes, right? I'm trying to think of, or trying to hit a king with my iron.
Actually, let's take a look at Kyron's game here. Just because of its awkwardness. And Black's move right here.
So Black's gotten the queen back into sort of position. Bishop d6 or bishop c5, maybe bishop d6. Queen e8 check, king c7 is nothing. Maybe queen h3 check first and then bishop d6. I don't know. I mean, if all Black has to do is consolidate and the game is,
Wow.
is over.
Rook a4.
Rook a4, Alexi was talking about that move. It's like the key square or something for Black's forces.
Normally you don't see attacks looking sideways, right? It's almost
Yeah.
like sideways.
Well, there's lots of threats now. Queen h3 and rook e4 is huge. Or queen d1 and rook g4.
Yeah, queen d1 I was looking at.
Yeah. Well,
You know what chess.com calls this defense? So it says
No.
the Caro Khan defense, the hillbilly Schaefer gambit.
oh yeah, the hillbilly.
That's what it says. So interesting.
Do they have a name for everything?
Everything. They call it something. It's like you like naming a star. Right? You name a defense.
Right.
let me flip to this game because I this is kind of fascinating because just the intergenerational matchup. Here's Tom Mazer is black against Nicholas Wang, trying to put up some resistance, but looks like White's starting to get a lot of minor pieces on the attack over there.
Yeah, I mean, Black would like to find a shot here, but I'm not seeing it. Knight h4 is, to be expected, I think.
It looks like the shot's going to come from the other side, actually.
The rook could just go back to g8, but that's not what you want to do. I'm liking White still.
I mean, even the rook went to g8. Is there something with bishop h7?
Possibly.
And then queen e3 or c2 or something.
King can go back to h8.
And then knight g6 or...
Well, there's that rook on g8 and the queen on e8. Still guarding that square. This is so Black sacks the exchange, but that's probably not going to work here. Queen h6, knight f4 maybe. Oh no, then queen takes f6. So
tough.
Yeah, I don't really see it.
Let's go back to
and now knight g6 check and queen h5 wins. So this Tom just falls into.
Oh yeah.
Or even bishop g6.
And curious if Nicholas Wang will go that continuation here.
Yeah, bishop g6 is immediately decisive.
Yeah, tough. Just too many pieces.
Yeah.
Concentrated on that side. And he went the knight g6 route. And that is it. Nicholas Wang picks up the win. Great tactical shots there.
Yeah.
Going back to Kyron Griffith's game. Ashik plays c4. Trying to provide some disconnection. Disconnection between the rook and the queen.
Keeping that rook out of the game at all costs. No. Well, Kyron maybe got a little fancy with rook a4. I mean, bishop d6 would have just been simple. He can still play it. I don't see anything wrong with bishop d6. And then rook a4 looks a little silly, so I'm not sure. Black could also play rook c4 and just give up the exchange. Then White has maybe something to play for materially, even if he's still on the ropes. This is just tough for White. I think Black has lots of ways to play for an advantage here.
And let's take a look at a game we haven't looked at yet. This is National Master Arun Dixit is White against Nitish Nathan. Breathe Chess Always is Black.
Well, Black looks good here, but that's hard to say. If White can find some way to win a pawn on the king side or something.
It's like a fun...
Or getting f6 or, yeah, maybe this isn't so good for Black.
It's just like exposed, like just everything's exposed for White here.
Bishop f3, trying to play f6. Or bishop h3. Even giving up the exchange, queen h5, knight e3, pawn f6. Black has no time to take the rook at d1 because he gets mated with queen g5, g6, queen h6. This is looking close to loss for Black.
And just following up on another game we were looking at with Pudor Ramaswamy and Akko Hidari here. This is pretty interesting. Look at Black just kind of like launching those pawns over.
Yeah. still, so he's got to make it count. White's position looks really good in a way,
Would White
but
want?
if
Yeah.
black can crash through, then that'll make all the difference. But G4 is going to leave the F4 pawn hanging. This is an interesting move.
And he just takes right away.
The bishop will be active on C5, I suppose, but still tough.
Let's take a look at Elliot's game real quick because moves have been played, but look at this because Elliot's position looks solid, but now it looks like Black's got some play.
Yeah, he made that powerful centralization on the D file, and now he can get in with rook E3 maybe. Well, if only White King was on C2 and White could play rook D1 here.
Just needs one more defender.
And you know Black's going to keep the queens on the board. If the rook gets to E3, Black is going to start wandering around with the queen, trying to find a move in. This is a tough little game. Strong knight at E4, strong rook at E3 or D3.
And just because we cannot help ourselves, we got to see what is up with Kyron's game here.
Yeah.
And Kyron's got his king in the middle of the board.
And he plays king E7. Well, that's a multi-purpose move.
That is an attacking king.
Attacks the bishop and defends the bishop and releases the other bishop. Yeah, that looks very strong.
Yeah, that's about as much activity as you can get out of a king, where you clear a piece and attack.
This just ends the game, I think. Now the black bishop at C8 is in the attack. That's just...
Isn't that funny? I mean, that like a king moves, like gonna win a piece, frees up the bishop, but it's in the middle of the board.
Queen E5, king F7, queen B8, and then black can start going over to the attack. Now queen H3 check wins a piece. So that just fails. The simplest is queen H3 check.
That's right. And that is it. Resign. Game is over.
Yeah.
Nice win by Kyron. And
yeah, something went wrong in the old opening there.
And I asked in the chat if that was a book trap, so we'll see what he says. Going back to Elliot's game here real quick.
Elliot who?
Exactly. Hey Judith, and she is in the Twitch chat saying hello. How are all the games going? Everything started?
So I need a good book, Abel, to teach for my next book class.
Yeah.
Any ideas out there? Good chess books that would make an interesting...
John Donaldson was in the Chess Cafe yesterday, and he was spending a good bit of time just with book recommendations.
Oh, he loves chess books.
Yeah, and it was pretty interesting. Just to I mean, he was going to talk about his own book, and he spent a lot of time talking about all the good books to read that weren't his. But it was interesting, the diversity, and even one of the books he was recommending is actually geared for younger players.
The Joel Benjamin's World Champion book.
Yeah, and then we had a pretty good discussion actually about the importance of teaching chess history and the appreciation of it, and why a lot of students don't appreciate chess history now. They just study tactics and puzzle rush, and they're not thinking about the greats of the past. And
All those tactics were discovered by those guys in the past.
right. So it was interesting to hear that perspective, and then the role of a coach or a trainer in fostering that, because developing that develops an appreciation and love of chess that helps in those moments where you're struggling, right? Because you love the game even more, and appreciate it more, and you're not just focused on the result. I don't know.
Yeah, well, there's no doubt also that your game is going to improve. I mean, it's no joke that players like Fischer and Kasparov made a deep study of all these old masters, all the way back to Philidor and Greco. And I talked to Nick DeFermi, and he's always on about Greco's games and Morphy's games, and they're fantastic chess games.
And Mike Walder's in the chat, and I just asked him about the draw for. He was -3 up, and hey, Mike, if you're listening, did you think you were ahead? You must have thought you were some ahead, but did you think you were that much ahead? And were you worried about the position, that it wasn't so clear cut? Let's oh wow, there's
Elliot, yeah, Elliot's
sometimes it's as simple an explanation as that, right?
Yeah, that's right.
It doesn't always have to be some deeply philosophical,
Yeah.
analytical.
No.
He thought he was winning, but he had to go to the bathroom, and then he blundered in the last game, so might as well just take a draw.
Right. Take it a little bit at a time. Next time there won't be a draw offer. Well, that's interesting, Michael. Quite a game. Quite a game.
Yeah. Nice and sharp.
So if Black puts the rook on e3, I mean, it seems to me Black should put the rook on e3, but I could be wrong. Otherwise, White's going to play rook d1. And why did White play king c1? I guess just maybe to avoid some queen a4 check thing or something.
You thinking rook e3 and then following up with like queen a5 or something, or?
It looks dangerous to play for Black to play rook e3. I mean, if White plays something like, yeah, he plays it. Now, White can play to the d file with the queen and force Black to move his queen away. And then maybe White's planning on doubling, like queen d2. I don't know. Here. Congratulations to all the winners at the in the Tuesday night marathon, and all the losers as well.
Yeah, why not? And everyone who drew. And there it is, queen a5.
Rook d1, queen a5.
And Max Howe's in the chat. He won his game.
So queen c4, rook f3, and White can't play rook d8 check, but White can play rook d7. Things are getting heated up here. Who's calculated this better?
Wow, queen c4.
The people who didn't win are the losers. Well, I'd like to be able to sugarcoat this for everybody, but
we believe in calling it like it is, right?
Queen c4. Okay, so rook f3, knight d6, yes, or rook d7 even.
And Elliot down to 8 minutes on his clock.
Yeah, Black's moving quickly, but Black's might have overlooked the strength of this. This is a nice move. It attacks and defends at the same time. It's a beautiful move, queen c4. I don't think black has time to play rook f3. Rook d7, queen f5, knight f6 check is a killer move.
So let's take a look at this endgame.
Black might have overlooked that.
This is between Ethan Guo against Kevin Yanofsky. Kevin is up a pawn here. How difficult will this be?
Is black about to queen this pawn?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Wow, the black king got to e1.
Why didn't black play king c2? That looked a little easier. But this wins too. I suppose. Rook d1? Why doesn't white play rook d1 there? Now he's going to play rook d1.
Now what?
The black king went the wrong way.
The wrong way.
It's still... It's funny how the black rook is in the way. If the black king had just gone out the other way, white was completely lost. And now king g. Oh, I guess this is, yeah, white's in this long. King g4, rook e4 check. Now rook e1 is. No, then rook h2 check.
Yeah.
Look at that. Amazing.
These stuff.
So rook e8, maybe rook e8.
No.
Just rook e8.
Wait a minute.
Oh, he made the wrong move. Unbelievable.
Wow, he hung a pawn. Hung the pawn.
Yep, he hung the pawn.
Wow.
Yikes.
Hey, Kyron.
Mm.
Yep. Kyron's in the chat.
Gosh, Kyron, I played like a bozo against you. You were winning, though, and then I was winning, and then you won. I meant to play rook e8 check, and I played rook c1. It was so bad.
It's like I was winning, then you were winning, then I was winning, and then you won. That's how it is. Hey, so Kyron, I actually didn't see in the game chat, was that like a known book trap out of the Caro-Kann, what you played against Ashik? Because I'm guessing it was, because you only had like minutes off your
Yeah, that looked like some kind of opening trap for sure. Who knew that the Caro-Kann could be such a lethal attacking weapon?
No kidding. I mean, my limited knowledge, the reputation was that it was a very, passive, defensive, avoiding, and,
boring.
And Kyron's playing it every chance he gets, so
he's making a potent attacking weapon out of it.
Well, there he goes, the hillbilly attack, so chess.com was right in how it labeled it. That's what it said. I mean, what can I do?
So white's getting an easy draw here.
Yeah. All right.
This was a funny game. Let's
go back to Elliot Winslow's game in Kurit Panoganti. That's right, Kyron. And that's what I was saying. I was telling Paul, hey, this is the hillbilly Schaefer attack. And everything's got a name now.
So it looks to me like black is in trouble here. His rook f3, rook d7, queen f5, knight f6 check. I don't know what black's going to do here. The queen can go back to c7 maybe. There's a video on the hillbilly. Boy, I don't know. Does YouTube allow that kind of stuff?
Says Simon Williams, though. Oh, Simon Williams can do it.
I thought that stuff was banned on YouTube. Whitehead variation. Well,
anyway,
yeah.
wow, look at this! Look at this game with Pudor and what happened? Oh, they took a rook right there. Look at that. This is almost like a composition puzzle.
Yeah, Black's position is, he's masked up for the kingside attack, but it still hasn't gotten off the grounds.
And there's a question in the chat. If there were ever a Whitehead variation, what would that look like? And out of what opening?
Well, I played bishop to b5 my whole chess career with a lot of success against the Sicilian. So, but that's not the Whitehead variation. So I don't know what, there is no Whitehead variation, nor should there be. Actually, if you can ever find pawn takes queen mate in your game, you can call that after me.
Kyron says e4, c5, bishop b5.
There you go.
All right, it's established. We'll let
e4, c5, bishop b5. Yeah, I don't know. Well, at least it's something. So Black pins the rook and White just calmly takes on. And Black finally, free of charge almost, gets this bishop on d5 all of a sudden. He's had to give up some pawns for it.
And what are these guys doing? Look at this nonsense. I mean, they're playing on here. King and rook. This is from that game. They're like playing it out.
Oh, yeah. I can understand this. I mean,
and probably because Kevin's got 30 seconds on the clock, and you never know. But you know what? We've said this before, and we've seen someone lose this position.
Yeah, we should look at another game, maybe, and not give these guys so much airtime.
Yeah, we should, and especially as White is the one declining the draw. So. Here's a game that we have not looked at yet. This is Chelsea Zhu is White against Ethan Boldy. What do you think of this? It's with queens on the board, but one's got a bishop, one's got a knight.
This is tough. Yeah, I like what Kyron said. White needs to play a4. I mean, this Black's pawn is Black's better centralized, and the pawn is nicely advanced. It's time for White to sort of give up any ambitions here.
Kind of launch that pawn out.
A4.
Trade it out.
A4, knight takes A4 probably, and then they should agree to a draw.
Let's take a look at this game. This is Christian Clemens is playing Andrew Ballantyne. And this is the position. Ballantyne under 3 minutes, though.
Well, if Black can put his knight on E5 and prevent White from crashing through with pawn E5.
Andrew Ballantyne has been going through a little growth spurt in terms of his play. He's been doing really well.
G5, that's quite a move. Opening up the F5 square. It does look a bit suicidal. I mean, I think Black's pieces are not on the right squares to play that move. And it doesn't look necessary, but All right, knight F5 check.
And Andrew trying to play it fast here.
Oh, he took. That looks definitely suicidal.
Now, like everything is
I
turned
mean, yeah,
because
black needed to move his king. So there's two suicidal moves.
yeah, this is gonna lead to losing something here.
Yeah, knight takes e4, just bishop e4. Yeah, I mean, black should have put a little more thought into his last two moves, but of course, he was running out of time. So that's
Let let's take a look at this game here. A lot of
hmm.
stuff got traded, but here's the position: Akko Hidari and Puder.
Wow, black is has one knight for a queen. That's not much.
That's not usually enough compensation, but
No, but maybe there's something here. I mean, there is the h2 threatening to make a queen or rook takes
take
c2.
a look at that. Like what of H2? What if H2's played? Then what?
Rook, maybe rook f8 check and queen h4 check. Hmm. If queen h4, rook g1 check, and then queen. So that's not totally convincing.
This is dangerous. I don't even think Rook F8 does anything. I mean, you know, you take with the knight and then Queen H4, but then King G8. And Kyron saying H2, Queen X D5, H1, Queen.
Well, that's for sure.
Yeah, so you can't even just pick off the bishop.
Well, black is going to have this awful rook g1 check and making a queen too. Yeah.
Let's take a look how this came about. This is
Cool.
the
Well, I think yeah.
look at that.
Black finally starts crashing through here, but has to give up his queen.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's take a look at this. So if queen h4, well, wait a minute, queen h4, h2, rook takes f8 check, king g7, and then white wins. Well,
Okay, so so you're saying
oh, it's black's move.
it's black's move here. So black's gonna play H2.
Yeah, black. Well, that's a minor detail, Kyron. Sometimes I like to let people move twice, just because it's a sporting thing to do.
Or didn't learn turn taking. I think yeah, I think H2. Very interesting. Let's take a quick look
This
at.
is yeah, I'm not sure.
Let's just look at Elliott's real quick, and then we'll come back to this. Both players around the same time, 5 minutes and change.
So black had to retreat rather than defend, rather than take that f3 and go into a defensive. So white has to find some way to strengthen his position further.
And going back to that game,
He's got the d-file now. He can go back knight to e4. Now that the rook is looks like white's back in control here with knight e4.
and then
Black's
back,
in trouble,
and then,
I think.
and then back to this game here.
So, what's wrong with h2?
And Akko's in like a deep think here.
I mean, H2. What happens after H2? Queen H4, Rook G1, King F2, makes a queen, Rook F8 check, wins a piece, regains a piece.
And then Kyron's saying Queen H4. All right, so
Ooh, Queen E7 check. Yes. Yeah. Queen H4, yeah. King F2.
Oh, that's, yeah.
Can the black king return back up to H6? No, then Rook F6 check. So Queen H4.
Queen H4 is definitely the move here.
Yeah, and Queen H7 check, of course, as well. Queen H4, Rook G1, King F2. Is there any other move? You can go back with the Rook to G2 check. I don't think that's going to do anything. White king comes to E3. Nah.
It's incredible because white is up a lot of material here, but
It still has some work to do.
traps, yeah. Let's take a quick peek at this. We haven't followed this game yet. This is white is Rainon Lardent playing William Sartorio. William
White's
Sartorio's
definitely got some chances here of being a pawn up.
yeah, and Sartorio's black.
It's definitely white for choice. But there's a lot of chess left here.
A lot of chess left. Back
Yeah.
to this game as we wait to see how this unfolds. A lot of drama here. As we wait for White's move. Look at this. We haven't followed this one. This is Zaki Barov against Jonah Bush. Jonah is down 2 pawns, but
Well,
does the position...
if white can take that C3 pawn, I'm trying to find a way for black to improve his position here.
But can't what? Can't... oh, no, you're not going to have...
Swing over Rook H6 or something like that.
Yeah, I think Rook H6 has to be the move, right?
Then Rook C4, Rook H... Yeah, black's... It looks like black's just in time to sort of get some counterplay here. Complicated.
And no moves made yet. And actually, peeking on this game, against the advice of Kyron, now black is marching that c-pawn down.
Because white didn't play A4.
Because A4 was not played, yeah.
Instead, white moved his bishop out. That's a very dangerous pawn.
And Pudor is still thinking on this move right here in his game against Akko Hidari.
Well, it's always possible to make a mistake.
Especially when you feel the time closing in on you, as he's at 2.5 minutes.
But I mean, Rook F8 check, Knight F8, Queen H4 check. That's not convincing at all. Black just moves his king to G7 or G8. Why would white do that? There's nothing. You're just giving up potential.
Do you think he's not looking at Queen H4? Because
It's hard to know what people are thinking. I mean,
this
sometimes
is tough.
sometimes they're not thinking. And
I mean, there's so many things you can look at to try to.
sometimes, in these tense situations, thinking actually goes right out the window.
Because I mean, first and foremost, Black's got to think. All right, H1 mate is staring me in the face. So how do I stop
Yeah.
that?
So it's either rook h7, rook f8, or queen h4.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
starting out with rook f8 or rook h7 doesn't make any sense. Oh,
And as you say,
my bad. That might give away the win.
and the thought is probably Queen H4 check, but
Well, then king g8, and then what, knight d7 or something, going for a checkmate with the knights, or something like that.
yeah, but can't you even do King G7? Can you do that?
Well, that exposes you to queen f6 check. Yeah, true. You might be able to do that. Yeah, knight d7 is met by knight d7, so that's not even on the tick cards either. This is very odd. What did white see here?
Well, probably first and foremost, White is thinking, all right, I got my queen at H4, now I could stop H1, but could have done it just by playing Queen H4 in the first place.
So knight e4, rook g1, king e2, queen. He plays bishop e4, rook g1. So the knight's going to end up at f6. Both sides are going to have a queen and a knight. I mean, is that what's going to happen here?
Does this work?
Well, bishop takes e4. I think white's giving black a chance to go wrong here by playing rook check first or something like that.
No, this is...
Black has to take on e4. Yeah, black's going to be a rook up.
Yeah, because then you just go Rook G1, and then...
Yeah, and there's no mate with knight f6. I think that white's was looking for some kind of mate with knight f6.
Yeah.
White goes from winning to lost with this.
And White at a minute left, and Akko using his time, trying to make sure all the bases are covered.
It's funny. Well, White's giving black one chance to go wrong here by checking and making a queen, but he should just take on e4 first. This is really the knight coming into f6 check isn't going to, although maybe no, it's not going to help. All White's going to get is one check at f6 with his knight. And then the king goes up to f7.
Yeah, and Mike Walder was saying Queen H4 looked like that could have been it, but
you could always play rook f8 check if you wanted to, a move later. He gave away his own options. Amazing.
yeah, and there's no...
Well, you got to hand it to Akko. I mean,
that was scary.
Sense.
Let's take a peek at this game here, because Kirit Panugani is down to under 10 seconds against Elliot Winslow.
Oh, Elliot's done well here.
And let's see the drama unfold.
I think. And this should be a winning end game, I think, for White. Just taking and playing the knight to d6, and then yeah, the pass pawn on the queen side coming up probably.
And black doesn't not have a lot of time to work through some of this stuff.
If knight g6, d4, then even c4 maybe. Oh, I see. Yeah, black has f6. That's true.
Checking back at this other
He's
game.
not finding that move. Yeah.
Here's the position. And that
He got his check in on f6, and that's it.
but that knight is covering everything.
Yeah, this is a travesty. Okay, he's hoping for king e7, queen e8, mate.
Right.
Yeah. Of course, black can just take. Yikes. Wow, Akko, kudos for a come from behind win there.
Is it strange that he hasn't taken the queen yet? Is there any chance that he doesn't see that?
Guess.
No, not at all.
We've seen some horrible things happen in oh, he took it. So now black's a rook ahead.
All right, back to Elliot's game.
2
seconds left for black. 11 seconds for Elliot. But Elliot's
Wow.
He's up a couple of pawns.
f4.
Oh, but black's going to capture some of it. Oh!
Oh no, he fell for it. 94
Yeah,
check.
nice win.
Wow, Elliot, you cheapo artist.
And wow, what happened here? This was the game between Chelsea. Look at this. We thought black was gonna promote, but then something went wrong. Oh,
White went on a mating attack. And then won the knight at b4, and then won the queen. And yeah.
Good game by Chelsea there. Wow.
Wow.
What a game.
Wow.
And,
those positions are hard to play.
And Judith, is that all the games? Because I know we were looking at the top half and some of the bottom, but I don't know if we got all the games. So
I think these games are as confusing to me as you can get.
What a round that was! There was a lot of sharpness, a lot of action. So we'll see if that was it. Paul, do you mind if I take 2-3 minutes?
I think you should.
And I will be right back and break you.
I'll try to entertain the troops here.
Yeah. Do some kind of show for them.
I'll do a Elvis impersonation.
Thanks.
All right. See you in a minute. Nice game, Akko. Looks like your opponent missed a win with Queen H4, though. Rook F8 check was a blunder. Yeah, this is, yeah. Yeah, it's a little bat crazy. This is the final round, the penultimate round of the TNM. So what are the standings? I'm going to go see if I can find them here on the, and we can let everybody know. I know they're posted somewhere. Let me see. And give you a sneak preview into and I'll refresh my page. And we still don't have the final results and standings in, so we're waiting for the pairings. Oh, here they are. Looks like I'm wrong. They have been updated. No, not yet. In big news, Michael Walder drew Gusev from a position of strength, a well-timed draw offer, and a well-accepted draw offer. And so Gusev should be in first place with 6.5. He's finally got slowed down by Michael Walder. And let's see. And that should leave Gusev in first place with Kyron Griffith. I think Elliott won, so Elliott has already played. But people are nipping at Gusev's heels here. Gusev has 6.5. Elliott Winslow has 6, and Kyron Griffith has 5.5. So we might have just 1 6 and 1 5.5. No, Walter has 5.5 too. So has Gusev played Elliott? Yes, they did in round 5. And Gusev won, so that's an impossible pairing. Has Gusev played Kyron Griffith? Yes, they played in round 6, and Gusev won. So I'm not sure who Gusev is going to play in the last round. Maybe Kiri Panaganti, who lost to Elliott Winslow. It's possible. No, he's also played Gusev in round 4. So Gusev doesn't have many people left to play in this tournament. It's amazing. Not sure who his opponent's going to be in the final round. Whoever gets a chance to play Gusev, though, it's going to be fun. Always fun to play a Grandmaster. I loved it when I got paired with the Grandmaster, because you knew that they were going to try to tear you apart, and that gave you a chance to beat them. And if you were tricky and underhanded, and you could maybe pull it off. So, yeah.
I come back and all I hear is that you're tricky and underhanded. And is that
I'm talking about how to beat a Grandmaster.
Not easy.
No, but the advantage that you have is that they're trying to beat you, and they'll take risks.
Because they'll take risks thinking that they may be able to overcome those risks.
Yeah, outthink you, outplay you,
and
outcalculate you.
Judith said the standings and the pairings are up. And looking at that, Gadir's 6.5. He is a half point ahead of Elliott Winslow, who's at 6. And then 2 players at 5.5, Kyron Griffith and Mike Walder. So the top board for the final round, National Master Eric Hahn is playing Gadir Guseinov. And on board 2, Kyron Griffith and Elliott Winslow.
And I'll be right back after this commercial break.
Go for it. Board 3, Michael Walder and Kiri Panaganti. And on board 4, Arun Dixit and Chelsea Zhu, which will actually be a good match. And actually, great matches down the row. Ako Hidari and Nicholas Wang. That should be interesting, both at 5 points. And William Sartorio, Ashik Uzuman, Jonah Bush, Vishva Nanoganda. Great matchups coming in for the final round of the Tuesday night marathon, the December TNM. Yep, Walder playing Kirit, UC Berkeley Senior. And very cool, very cool. And as I was mentioning earlier, sort of a light week after today. There's going to be no newsletter this week, but we will have all the TNM coverage of the final 2 rounds in next week's newsletter. So we're not going to forget to do that. Just want to take the time right now while we're on break. We want to wish everyone a happy holiday, happy and a safe holiday this this time of year. A lot of unusual stuff going on, but stay safe out there. Take a break. We're going to take a little bit of a break, the staff here at the Mechanics Institute. But starting in January, we're going to hit the ground running as we are organizing the Pan American Intercollegiate Online Championships. That'll be January 4th through the 6th. We already have close to 50 teams registered for that. And there are more coming. So if you want to see who the currently registered teams are along with the players, I'm about to put that in the chat. Go check it out. There it is. And like I said, we got almost 200 players, probably have a little more. Defending champion Texas Tech will be there with Grandmaster Alex Onischuk as their head coach. Perennial favorites, Webster University's got several of their teams there, which is some crazy teams. Thank you, Akko. You like the Christmas spirit here. And I mean, there's some college teams here that's got 2,700 players down the row. So they're Susan Polgar's team, definitely always tough, and happy to see UC Berkeley and Stanford. They're in it. Howard University just joined today, so go check that out. See who's playing, and like I said, more teams coming. University of Toronto, because we got some Canadian teams as well as some teams from Mexico joining. So it will be a very fun start of January. 4th through the 6th, we're going to have wall-to-wall coverage. If everything works out right, I think chess.com may even restream us. So let's see what happens. We'll have a lot of fun in January. And then at the end of January, we have the U.S. Amateur Team West. So chess is alive and well at the Mechanics Institute, and we're going to prove it to the world come January and get 2021 started out right with all of that. Mizzou definitely got some heavy hitters on the roster with our very good friend, Grandmaster Christian Kurilla, coaching them. So he'll have a little bit of support here from us. Hopefully that works out. We reached out to Danny Wrench, and he seems supportive, so let's see how that develops. Hopefully that works out. We'll be broadcasting regardless, but hopefully we can get a little more coverage for all these college competitors. And Sebi Suarez, next round starts at 8, not 8:30, 8 p.m. So it starts in 5 minutes. So go get your milk, go to the bathroom, and then get ready to start your game at 8 p.m. or shortly thereafter, because Judith has to manually pair all the games. So that's what'll happen there. And actually, when she starts the games, I'm really not going to be able to put up the games until a few minutes after, because the way we do it is we start all the games first, and then we save the live link for the game, and then paste it up, and then that's where I get it from. So that's why we bring everything up shortly after. So if you're currently watching and you're not a follower of this channel, click on that follow button right there, and then that way you can be made aware every time we come on. And like I said, come January, we're gonna have a lot of chess action. So if we're broadcasting, you'll be made aware of it. And for everyone watching, we set up a couple of free tournaments, one tomorrow night and then one Thursday. So if you want to get some game on, over the next couple of days. Check it out because I think I set both of them for 6:30 or 7 p.m. I think it's one rapid, one blitz. So if you want to play with some of your fellow mechanics players, free tournament set up for tomorrow and Thursday. So check it out if you're inclined to play. So you can get some holiday chess in there. We have T-minus 3 minutes to the start of round 8 of the Tuesday night marathon. And let's see how it plays out. The Kyron Griffith, Elliot Winslow will be something to watch. I'm looking here at the some of these teams, looking at the list of registered players. University of Texas at Dallas is no joke. They got like almost 3 teams where everyone's 2,500. Mizzou has got a 2,700, a 2,600, and 2,500. And Princeton's looking pretty solid. But they got Andrew Tang, and hometown boy Vignesh Panchanatham. He's on that team. USC is in the house, but Webster Team A is just an unbelievable. It's Lazaro Bruson Batista 27-25, Alexander Lenderman on board 2, 27-04, and congratulations to Lenderman for qualifying for the 2021 U.S. Championship by winning his seat, by winning an Armageddon playoff against Christopher Yu. So congrats to him. But Lenderman's on board 2 of the Webster University team. And then Unieski, Quesada, Perez, 26-69, and Emilio Cordova, 26-55. That is one solid team. And even their Team B, 2,700 and 3 2,600s. Unbelievable. And then UC Berkeley is a fantastic. I'm looking forward to you guys. Go Bears! You got so much chess talent on your team. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams they're sending, and a lot of people we know have been following for years. Josiah Stearman, Ladia Jurassic, Ryan Tagazadi. You're at Cal? That's fantastic. Timu Virtanen, Ashrita Iswaran, Michael Wang, Arman Baradaran, Karit Panagani, Tanmay Qatar, Arjun Bharat, who's a great talent. We will be having fun following all you guys. Jeffrey Way, fantastic. Oh, and Ryan, that is awesome. You are a Golden Bear now. And it's great to see every name that I have mentioned just now are people that I've been following grow over the last 7-8 years in chess, and it's really cool to see them now as in college, getting ready to embark on a whole new life with chess and in other things. But nice to see them at one of the greatest universities on the entire planet, the University of California at Berkeley. That is my unbiased opinion.
Look at all these strong players playing in this tournament.
Yeah. Are you talking about the Pan Am?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's unbelievable.
How many teams have registered so far?
I think we got 50.
Wow.
50 teams of 4. Some of them have 6. But it's and growing. And we expect more teams to register. And
is this the first ever online Pan American?
Yes.
Of course it is.
Yep. First
amazing.
ever.
So you are setting precedents right here.
Yeah, this is brand new. I mean, we had to even go through discovering rules that were not thought of after the fact. And then,
Right. That's amazing.
yeah, so kudos to Judith, who was part of the online task force that first started, rules for online rated chess. But then now taking it a step further, especially with regards to team competition, because there were some nuances there. Because typically in a team match, teams can go to their captains and inquire about draws. But with the online format, you don't have players live looking at games live, right? And they can't look at other games. So yeah,
So do they have to discuss that kind of stuff before
well,
the?
well, it just can't be done, right? I mean, we're
Wow.
gonna set it up so that players can be aware of results, right? But they're not gonna be able to look at other games. So
Oh,
we're creating a way for players to look up who won and lost, so that they
so
know that
captains.
so that they know if it's 2-1 and all that player needs is a draw. They'll know that okay, I have that option to just draw the match rather than have to be forced to play for a win type of thing
Right, I
that
got you.
that you see in team matches. I think
Hmm.
the round has started, so I'm waiting for the games to come up. Oh, let me go to my round 8. Yeah, some of the games are up. So now I'm gonna do the psychedelic, where I click out all the games from the previous round. I don't know what it looks like on Twitch. Probably not comfortable. And let me pull up, start pulling up some of the games now. So now viewers get like behind the scenes of what it looks like for an online TD.
Santa Claus. Santa Claus is the TD today.
Yeah, Santa's directing. There we go. Some
Aaron and Elliot.
Judith is saying someone messed up her pairing sheet and she is not happy. I hope to God that wasn't me. I don't think it was. Um, but yeah, if you mess up the pairing sheet, you throw stuff off. So, thing is that players also have access because they can enter results. But sometimes if players do the wrong thing, they tip something and messes it up.
Huh.
But anyway, let's go to board 1 with National Master Eric Hahn. And let me change something here because it currently says round 7. And we are not in round 7. We are in round 8. Let me update that. There we go. Boom.
This is looking
What do you think?
not so great for Eric, who seems to have lost a pawn right out of the opening.
Already? Let me take a look. Here we are, Sicilian.
Accelerated Dragon.
I'm guessing this is the move here. And there we go.
Oh, I mean, what's White gonna do? This looks like this is just a blunder. Gustanev's getting it too easy here.
Knight d5.
Queen d6.
Yeah.
And then maybe knight b5. I mean, unless this is some deep theory that I don't know anything about.
It just feels like it was a blunder.
Like it was a mistake.
Yeah.
But well, let's see what happens. Is White knight b5, queen b8, knight c7, then bishop takes b2. Black is just going to end up with too many pawns for the exchange too.
Let's peek in on board 2 with Kyron Griffith and Elliot Winslow.
What a great matchup.
Sicilian was the word here.
Yeah, Elliot's burning some time on the clock. I'm wondering why. Maybe trying to psych himself into the game. Is it going to be a Nahdorf? Is it going to be a dragon? Elliot could play anything. Nahdorf. These guys have played some great games with this.
Yeah. It'll be a lot of actions. Nice fitting conclusion to.
Yeah, this is going to be some
marathon.
short theoretical, thing here.
Yeah, they're doing it. Like they're in theory. Look at this, just blasting out the moves. Wow.
White's playing the old English attack.
That is right. That's right. The English attack. And there's a lot on the line here. Like the winner of this is clear second.
Is that right?
Yeah. Well, actually, not clear second, but I mean, whoever wins this will be in second place.
Right, and it could be clear second.
If Elliot wins it, and assuming Gadir wins his game, Elliot would be in clear second. But if Gadir draws and Elliot wins, he could tie for first. So, there's a lot on the line. And
Elliot's in a great situation. He's a half a point behind Gadir, and Gadir is playing. Oh no, who's the other 6-pointer? Or 5.5 points.
Elliot's the only 6-pointer.
Elliot's the only 6-pointer.
And Gadir is the only 6.5. So.
Right, yeah. Elliot's in a great spot. I mean, obviously, Elliot and Gadir both.
Right.
And Kyron needs to win at all costs.
Look at Mike Walder's game here against Kirit Panugani.
And these guys are playing for something, too.
Absolutely, because Walder's at 5.5.
Well, this is exactly what we expect from Mike, a blitz attack in the style of Alpha Zero with H4, H5. So this is some kind of French defense, maybe, or
Bogo Indian.
Bogo Indian. That's really.
Yeah.
Go through the opening.
Yeah.
Let's do the opening for me.
So here we go.
Look at that, folks. How the pawn structures can change.
Yeah.
So we still have a sort of a queen pawn thing, but now it starts to sort of resemble a French kind of position.
Yeah.
And so it was difficult. It would have been difficult for me to have said it comes queen c2. I mean, this is his naked aggression here, threatening to take on g6 without even thinking about it. Michael Walter, you can tell he's in the house. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He got his coffee. He said he needed his coffee.
This has got his stamp stamp on it here. Black rushes to take this bishop off at d3. That looks like a good move. And Michael, of course, trying to mate him, taking on g6. Black is probably going to take on d3 and then retake with the f pawn, I would guess.
Yes. Oh, but he takes that pawn on d4.
Yeah. But the black has slowed white down considerably, so there's some chances now for black, for sure.
Let's go back to board 1 real quick. Look at this position now.
That H file is still dangerous. All right, white's doing what he had to do, which was chase the queen back into the corner. And now look at this, queen g3. I like it. I mean, I suppose white's going to put a knight in on c7 and win the exchange. Black is going to get a lot for it, but
Kind of mixed.
somehow this doesn't look right.
Like not right for black?
Yeah, like I don't know. White seems to have something here.
Right, and it didn't look that way when we last saw it.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like black, like a kind of an opening trap, but I still, I don't see any win for white. But so knight f6 or knight d6 are the only moves that I can think of here. Maybe a6, or e6, but those don't look like good moves. So knight f6, and then
there it is, right in the face, knight c7.
Right. Well, bishop. Yeah, I guess white's going to win the exchange, and that might be good for white, just to take the exchange. Why not? And black has a lot of play for the pawn. I mean, for the exchange, he's got a pawn and a good position.
Well, what about a6 right here?
Well, knight a8, and the knight can escape out on b6.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I mean, black has definitely got enough compensation, but white won the exchange. Here we go. Knight takes a8.
So what's the compensation you say that white has?
Well, black is very solid, and he's got a pawn. And, white doesn't have firm, squares for his knight. For example, in the center, black is going to try to get the e5, d5 pawn duo.
And Alex Chin's in the chat. He thinks this was something that was misplayed by black. An opening trap that was misplayed.
Maybe.
And actually, that's what happened to Gadir in the Donaldson this past weekend. Is he had a known variation that he was going to play, and then he misplayed it. He had a little brain freeze. It led to him fighting to hold a draw.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine like Carlsen being really happy with white here, like I'm the exchange up and black has some compensation, but I'm the exchange ahead. So I don't know. This is a little bit of black's game is easy to play. I mean, as it always is in these kind of positions, but.
And let's take a peek.
It's unclear still.
Take a peek at board 2 here with Kyron Griffith and Elliot.
Yeah, that should be one of our main games. Look at this. So black is castled on the king side, and white played g4, and black just took it off. And my guess is, white's trying to attack on the G file or the H file, very hyper aggressive. Black is going to have to find some central break, like with D5 or some way to distract him over there. But this is quite a game here.
And I assume, Alex, you're talking about the light squares on black's king?
I think in that other game.
Oh, was that from the
Yeah.
previous one? Oh, for Gadir's.
H4, H5, H6. And black is going to try A5, B4. This game is, both players are just going for it here. They're just going for it. Tough little game.
So let's look at another game here. This is Arun Dixit, National Master White against Chelsea Zhu.
Okay.
Chelsea having a good tournament also.
Well, C5 looks like a well-timed move, I think, before white can start getting super aggressive in the center with E4. Although E4 now might be possible as well. C takes D4, knight takes D5. Yeah. Things are coming to a crisis here. Black is going to have to try to weather the storm after E4, I think. Looks like white should probably play E4, but it's not clear.
Let's go to this game here between Akko Hidari and Nicholas Wang.
Wow. We know them well.
We do know them well. And what do you think of that D3 square for white?
Oh, black has done well out of the opening here, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. No doubt about it. White's played a little too slowly in this ready opening or whatever it came from. So black must have a good game here. And like you said, knight D3 or bishop A6. Bishop A6 even more so.
Bishop A6.
Yeah. That's actually a threat here. I think white's been a little too lackadaisical in this opening and is in trouble.
The octopus knight coming. Yeah. Mm. And look at this game between William Sartorio, who's white, against Ashik Uzman. What do you make of that? I mean, I see the D6 pawn for white, like right up there, but...
Well, knight C7 check is going to win the exchange. Or is it? I mean, both white rooks are actually hanging.
Yeah. That's a lot going on the board here.
Yeah, let's see. Knight C7, rook C7 takes, queen takes. White's got a free move. Queen D4 maybe, or somehow white looks good here. Trying to find the shot. I mean, bishop G5. There's all kinds of look good looking moves here. Bishop G5, F6, yikes. My favorite word.
You say with emphasis, yikes.
Yeah, yikes.
Let's take a peek
I like
at
white somehow,
Mike Walder's game here.
So white's kingside H-file thing only went so far, and now we're in a kind of a positional struggle. White's got this passed E-pawn, strong knight on T4. Black has 2 bishops. This is a slugfest, a tactical slugfest here. Maybe white should play rook e1 and reinforce that pawn.
And let me jump back to board 1 and see how this is going for Eric Hahn against Gadir Guseyanov. He's appears to be up the exchange and for a pawn. But
yeah, I mean, black's got a good game, but he doesn't have a winning position. So this game is still up in the air.
let me
Both sides have chances. You know,
Well,
little easier to play for black, but white's not out of this yet.
let me pull up a few more games here while we're so that we can.
So the Pan Am is our next event, huh?
Yeah.
When does the next Tuesday night marathon start?
I'm very glad you asked that. And hold on, let me just go to Gadir's game here. We have that up already on our homepage. We have the January and the February up on our homepage. So it starts January 12th.
Okay.
January 12th, and I'm going to put it in the chat. There you go. If you want to take a look at the January 2021 Tuesday Night Marathon, it starts the 12th of January because we got to give ourselves some time after.
Yeah, and everybody who's watching that hasn't played in this historic event should definitely jump on board.
Jump all over it. That's going to be a 6-round, 3 Tuesdays event in 2 sections, 1800 plus and under 1800. So you want to get in on the history that is the Tuesday Night Marathon, there is your chance, and do it online.
And believe it or not, I think white blundered and Eric Hahn blundered in this game with rook e1.
Why is that?
Well, maybe he did. If knight e5, then bishop takes h3 afterwards. Knight e5, queen f1, bishop h3. White's got f4. But I mean, then maybe, I don't know, bishop g2, king g2, knight f3 check, and knight takes e1. Problem with that is
Wow, look at this position. Let me.
yeah, that's very unclear.
This is back to William Sartorio and Ashik Uzman.
So he played bishop g5, knight f, and then this happened. Now what? d7 check.
And those 2 rooks are still forked.
White has to be careful he doesn't give away too much material. Precisely because of what you just said, there was rooks hanging at the end. Does this work? Queen f6, d7 check, king d8. Oh, then queen a5 check.
Queen a5, yep.
But then rook c7. And then maybe rook hf1. Yikes. Yikes.
Let's check in on
Wow.
Kyron Griffith and Elliot Winslow.
There's some very exciting chess being played in this last round.
Yeah.
So here we go. Kyron's ready to mate him on the G file, but Elliot breaks in the center. H3, G3. I mean, black's got pawn D4.
D4, bishop H6.
Bishop H6, yeah.
But then does he have knight H5?
Or knight E8.
Yeah.
Well, then rook G7 and brings the queen over. I don't know. I want to believe looks like white's way ahead of black here in the attack.
And Alex is asking, and I'm assuming you're talking about Kyron's game. If I went before a few moves, he's asking if Queen D4 worked.
In a different game. Must be.
It had to be a different game, right?
Oh, it was in this game. Well, I don't see Queen D4 here.
Yeah.
For either player.
Is this what you're talking about, or was it a different game?
It must be a different game.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I didn't see that. Yeah.
A crazy queen sacrifice. I think it was in the game we were looking at right before.
Oh, in Ashik's game?
Yeah. We can look at that.
Yeah, let's take a look at that. Oh, okay. It was...
Although, look at knight h5 was played.
A crazy...
Well, no, you keep going.
Forward? Or backward? Well, I would have been there, right? Or before.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Sorry, man. But, I mean, you got me...
We're just so slow.
You got me curious, though. But, yeah. So
okay, so look at this nice slow move. Queen b6. What a great move.
Just keeping the...
threat of queen b8, but can black play bishop b7? I mean, queen b8 check is a horrible threat. White's finding a way in here. It's amazing. Yeah. Sacrifice to peace.
Sartorio is solid.
Look at this. This is no joke. If bishop to b7, rook f1. Maybe even queen a7. If bishop b7, queen a7, can the queen? Oh, then rook d7.
Just come up.
But then rook d7 check and queen takes b7 check. The strong attack, as well as moves like rook f1. Even knight a5 after bishop to b7. All kinds of moves for white. I have a feeling black is in trouble here.
Yeah, it looks pretty tight.
It does. Look, this is a nice move, queen b6.
And back to the Griffith Winslow game we were talking. Look at that. So Elliot goes knight h5, and Kyron just goes queen g2.
Right. Well, both of these players are living by the sword.
Is that just a straight up exchange sacrifice because
he's trying to crash through on the G file? You know, rook G1, rook G7 check, bishop H6. All of these moves are, you know, trying to come into play here.
Trying to open it up.
And black probably doesn't have time to play pawn to D4, although, see, pawn to D4, rook G1, bishop F6. I'm not sure that I see, or pawn to D4, rook G7 check, knight G7, rook G1, bishop F6, bishop G5, bishop H6, bishop H6. I don't know. Black seems to maybe have enough defensive resources here. We'll have to see.
Let's peek at board one.
It's possible that he does. Some tough little games here. So he played bishop h3 first.
Wow, look at that.
Very clever. Yeah, I pointed out this tactic already, but it's better here instead of knight e5 first, because otherwise white would have pawn f4. So this makes white's position dubious now. If black wins another pawn with this, white's in trouble.
Now look at that crazy diagonal.
Takes knight e5. I don't think that white is good there. I mean, black would have at least a draw after knight f3 check, king f1, knight h2 check. If the white king ran up to f3, well, if the white queen goes to d2, that would be mate. Yeah, I mean, white just overlooked this bishop h3 move. That's what happened. Rook e1 was a mistake, and now this is definitely turned in black's favor.
And you called that. Let's peek at Mike Walder's game here.
Yeah, the Grandmaster throws it out there. And Mike is still maintaining this grip on the position here. In fact, even more so now.
Yeah, now he's
neutralizing these two bishops. That pawn is still very strong at e5. No, it's still not over yet, though. These positions are tricky. The players find the right moves and the right tactics. For example, I mean, if a5, b5, c5, knight c6, black could maybe sacrifice the exchange with rook takes c6 or something like that. So there's various possibilities here for both sides.
And let's follow up on Chelsea's game against Arun Dixit. Do you think black's improved? Has she improved her position any?
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, it's still, these positions are tough.
It's pretty defensive, right? Because, I mean, she's got her knight on f8, defending h7.
But there's the isolated... Yeah. I mean, black needs some moves here to feel completely comfortable. But at this point, you know, if white opens the game with e4, maybe the black bishop will be good. I don't know. I don't exactly know here what... If white plays yeah, it's complicated. Knight d4 is coming in. Black's defensive now, but if white overplays it...
And going back to board 2, Elliott plays f6 rather than taking the rook at g3.
So this provides the king a way to escape over to the queen side, which is maybe where it should have been in the first place. I don't know. F6 looks...
What about... No, that doesn't work. I was going to say, what about rook takes g7, knight takes, and then rook g1, but you can go rook f7.
Well, then you have... Yeah, and if bishop h6, bishop f8. But I'm looking at maybe just like bishop c4 and then taking on d5. I mean...
Right.
Bishop takes c4... How does black take back? White comes in with a knight on d5. right after taking on c4. I mean, that's just one variation, of course. Rook g1, f6. I don't know. It's not filling me with confidence.
Do you think maybe the thought was to be able to put the rook on f7 and then maybe king f8?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure. But this center seems to just be falling into white's hands now. Bishop c4, dc4 maybe, knight d5, queen d8, and then you have to, it looks like, okay, so black might end up winning the exchange. I mean, that's going to be his compensation. I think black would, like to be able to sort of take that rook on g3 and defend for another 10 moves and then pull it out from there.
And let's take a look at board 1 here. And this is what it looks like here.
Okay, so he went back to c2, so now he won't get mated after knight h2 or Willie. King e2, queen f3, king d2, and, I don't see the mate. But of course, Gadir is going to be completely fine if he just takes the rook and then plays queen h1 check and takes yet another pawn.
Yeah.
That'll be 3 pawns for a piece. Not quite the same as the exchange, but white's pieces are not well coordinated. So,
and the king would be like in the middle of the board, right?
Yeah, but it's not quite as good as being the exchange down and 2 pawns. So I think black is going to be looking for something even better.
Going over to
this is tricky.
Mike Walder. Mike Walder here. I don't think anything's happened yet. I think
nothing's happened.
Oh, there we go. Now he's played c5.
c5 first. Okay. Well, that attacks it. So after takes, bishop takes. Mike's got knight b5 and maybe knight d6. Yeah, knight b5 is a good move, I think. And if a6, knight d6, bishop takes d6, queen d5 check, and queen takes d6.
And then going back to this game we're looking at, something did not develop, I don't think, the way it was planned. So
that's often the case, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so let's see what happened.
There.
He just took, okay.
But now the queen's on f6 protecting the rook. Promotes, take, and then just trade it down.
White could have taken with the rook, maybe. Huh.
So
this is kind of, it's amazing how this has gone. Queen e7, maybe black is better with the h pawn.
Yeah, now like turned around all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And seeing Matteo Hansen might have a nice mate coming up. I don't think I have his game up, and now you're compelling me to look it up. So here, he's playing Andrew Ballantyne.
So some people are complaining about the buffering rate here.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Wow, look at this. Incredible. Black mates white. Oh no, only if king h1. King h1, there's the mate. Oh no, that doesn't work. The queen at f7 guards the f2 square. Looks like whites can maybe play king h1 safely.
Yeah, this is the...
What's going on here? Oh, no. Yeah.
And you go rook f8, right?
Queen g7 mate. Oh, no. Oh, yeah. So he played king h1. Why didn't he play, king f1. Why didn't he play king h1?
Oh, there, queen g1.
He should have played king h1. And black should have just played rook f8 check. There's some mistakes going on here, I think.
But now what? Knight f4? Oh, no, you can't do that because the rook's attacking the queen.
Queen g2 check first, but then the king starts flying up to d3 and out. What a strange game.
Oh, I'm sorry, Alexei. Sorry the buffering was bad for you.
Huh. I wonder if there's anything we could do about that. I guess not. It's always, buffering is a personal issue.
Yeah, but like I'm watching it also, but I'm not having that. But I don't know if other people have it. So knight f4 check.
Just loses to queen f4, right?
I'm thinking that, right?
Then queen g2 check, queen f2, queen e4 check, queen e3. That's still complicated, but
Oh,
black
wow,
is...
he moved out. King d2. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to board 1.
And he gets mated, or what happens?
So he picked off the pawn, like you said.
And threatens queen h5 check. 3 pawns for a piece. Interesting, though, that Eric has more time than Gadir does. For the first time, I think Gadir has less time than his opponent.
Yeah, he went into a think after the exchange went down, I think.
This is a hard position to evaluate.
Let's check in on Kyron Griffith and Elliot.
Yeah, that's a very exciting game.
Kyron's been thinking. He's still thinking after f6.
Well, I always want to find the clear-cut move, so I'm looking at bishop c4. Maybe queen takes c4. Knight d5, queen... Oh, no. Just knight d5, then. Bishop takes c4. I'm voting for that move. And I know everybody... Oh, he played it. Look at that. Kyron played the bishop c4 move. I'm a psychic. I'm a chess psychic.
You're a chess savant and psychic.
Yeah, well, this is a problem now. So
what if b takes?
knight takes d5. I mean, this is the problem, is that black has just getting killed positionally.
And he thought long and hard on this one.
Well, he's going to try. Black might get the exchange. but white's going to be left with this powerful knight at d5. I think Elliott's lost. I mean, if d takes c4, knight d5, queen d8, then just knight d2, maybe knight a5 or knight c1 even. Black gets the exchange with knight g3 as some kind of compensation, but then he's just tied down horribly.
Taking a quick peek at Mike Walder's game. So we're toggling between games that will factor first, second, and third place in the Tuesday Night Marathon here.
Black, I mean, I think black is fine. I mean, if he plays bishop e6 and just holds the d5 pawn, if he loses the d5 pawn, he's going to be in trouble. But to me, it looks like black is okay here. Maybe even better now after pawn d4 or something. Although knight d6 is going to be completely good for white.
Flipping back to board one here.
Yeah.
Is that knight a goner right there? We might have it when all is said and done. Gadir is actually going to be up a pawn.
Yeah, and black is going to have, or white's going to have some excellent drawing chances, I think, maybe with bishops of opposite colors, but very unbalanced position. Black has a passed H pawn, white has a passed A pawn. Better for black, certainly. And especially because he can make a barrier with e6 and d5, but that's if it gets into an endgame. I mean, Gadir can play rook takes a7 if he wants. He doesn't have to play the queen exchange.
Going back to board two here, this is now the position.
And white can also play moves like knight c6. So he plays knight a5 instead. Then, yeah, I mean, that might be a great move. It was also possible to just go back to c1 or d2, I think. And this is black's problem. He can take the exchange, but white's is left with a kind of a dominating position. And maybe black has defensive possibilities. If I'm black, I just want to grab that exchange. I mean, he has nothing else.
Oof.
To allow white to play rook g6 on top of everything else would just be a disaster.
And look at Nicholas Wang here.
Yikes. Sorry, I had to say that.
Yeah, no.
Look at all these pins. Look at all these cross pins.
Yeah, like both
Crazy.
ways.
It's like every piece is pinned.
There's pins everywhere, yeah.
They have a great, they have all these great games, but do they have a great pin game? Like the greatest pins of all time games?
I saw one game like that, and I think it was Fabiano Caruana against Lenderman at a U.S. championship, where he just had like every piece pinned. I don't know if you saw that game. I actually taught some Scholastic classes using that game as an example. Look at all these pins. Well, you can't move. And then,
I mean, black looks like he's done everything he's supposed to do. So what happens after knight takes b2?
Oh, wow.
White, it looks like white has to play queen takes b2, because if queen a6, knight takes d1, and that's not good. So
Wow.
queen takes b2. Now black's problem is that his queen is attacked. If he moves the queen, pawn takes knight. Of course, then you could take the rook down at f1 and then take the pawn at e5. That might be good for black anyway. I mean, okay, so he does it. I think white's forced to play queen takes b2 here.
Yeah. And let me take a look at board number 1, because I feel like something might have gone slightly wrong for Gadir, because I'm wondering in this position.
Yeah, he played knight c6. I was looking at that. Yeah.
And then you got this, which is a fantastic move, because you don't.
Yeah, knight c6. I was looking at that.
Because you don't. He didn't have queen d8 because of the bishop takes f7 check.
Right, and now queen e8. That's going to be. He plays rook f8. I mean, okay. So my feeling about this position is better for black because of the insecure white king. I mean, if the white king was on b1 right now, I would say the position's completely equal. What are you laughing about?
In the chat, the best pin of all time, the macho, the Macho Man Randy Savage over Ted DiBiase at WrestleMania in Atlanta.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That take me back. I was watching wrestling in those years.
So this position is better for black, but I mean, not that much better for black.
And the pawns
and white
on the
goes,
opposite.
White does the right thing. I think he's going to try to hide his king over at b1 or a1. He can't do anything unless he does that.
Right.
And now black has this, he has some nebulous advantages here. He has the bishop e5 square. He's got the passed pawn on the h file, which is a million miles from a queen.
And
white also has a passed a pawn, that he could maybe push if nothing else happens.
I have a feeling Max Howe is going to crash the chat in a bit, because I see that he just defeated Christian Clemens in his game. So I expect him to at least type in the chat. But congratulations on that one.
Yeah. And how are these bottom sections going?
Well, it's all one section.
Oh, that's right. I'm thinking of the Donaldson for some reason.
Yeah, the Donaldson, which was kind of fun to see. Wow, look at this. This is the position here.
By the way, how did the Chess Cafe go after I got disconnected?
Went really well. It sort of turned into, I started asking John Donaldson questions about the book, and then other people were asking questions. It went really well. We'll put it up on our YouTube channel as soon as we can, because it was a pretty good interview, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. And Elliot joined, and Mike Walder was there, and just in conversation with John Donaldson.
Is white really going to give up his strong knight for the weak black bishop just to play rook d, like knight e7 and rook d1 to play knight d6 or something? Why did this white knight go running into the game like this? Very odd. I mean, white looks like he's pushing black all over the board here.
Yeah, it's like
black must just be hoping against hope that he can snatch this rook at g3 somehow and get away with it. Because otherwise, his position is not striking with confidence in me.
I was looking at that rook g6.
Yeah.
I mean, what's coming? I mean, Queen G4.
Yeah, like if knight f8, queen g4, maybe.
Yeah, this is
That could be
pretty
brutal.
pretty tough.
And
Back,
Elliot's down on time here.
yeah, significantly.
Kyron is a monster here. But Elliot just never seems to get much going there. Maybe Elliot should have taken that rook on g3
When he had the
back
chance.
when he had the chance.
And in the chat, they're saying is Rook H6 something?
That's a threat too, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, Black's going to have to play knight f4 to avoid losing this knight one way or the other. But this is just a mating attack. White knight at d5 and the black rook at f7 all prevent the black king from escaping. So there's just going to be some breakthrough coming up here.
Just a lot of restriction going on here.
Yeah.
Or even like
Elliot's
Sebi
not
saying
gonna.
bishop h6 even.
Yeah, this is not good. Let's see how Gadir is doing on board one.
Let's check that out here. Opposite colored bishops, even material, but we got pawns on each of the ends here.
Yeah, and the black bishop kind of cuts the board, the white major pieces off from each other. This is what grandmasters are so good at, is like domination, using their pieces to dominate the other person's pieces.
So will White be looking to do something like Queen H4 just to be able to regroup, reposition?
I like that. Yeah. And then Black's got Queen F3 though. See, Black has got these moves that are.
But what if White goes Queen H4 with the threat of Rook H1, and then I'm imagining Black's gonna maybe push some pawns, but then Bishop C2, and then start directing stuff that way.
So let's take a look at it. Queen H4, Queen F3. Maybe in reply. And then Rook H1.
Yeah,
let's
but then,
go.
But then you take it with, oh, yeah, no. Yeah, the F2 pawn's protected.
Then maybe if Bishop C4 check, Bishop F4 check, King C2. And that doesn't seem to get Black anything. I don't see anything. So maybe H5. And then White, like you say, can maybe try to turn his attention over to the G6 pawn. Might be Rook G1. Threatening Rook takes G6 check.
And Alex is saying Rook E3, possibly?
Bishop F4. Got to watch out for Bishop F4. So Queen H4, Queen F4, Rook at E3. But then Bishop F4.
Or what about Queen H4? No, we wouldn't want to do that. I was going to say F4, but then that invites Queen G2.
So Queen H4, Queen F3, Rook H1, H5, Rook G1. I don't know. Well, the problem, yeah, if Rook E3, Bishop F4. Well, I mean, Eric is still under pressure from Gadir. There's no doubt about it.
And back to board 2.
White pieces lack some coordination. But
so it's getting tense here. Elliot with 35 seconds left in the game.
Wow, some things have definitely happened here. He's really down on time, and the threat is Rook H6.
Rook H6.
I guess Black will have to play Knight F4. And then will White have time for Queen G6? Threatening Queen H7 mate.
And Karen's got the time to work this through, but Elliot, 33 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, this is just, I mean, rook h6, knight f4, take it with the bishop maybe, and then play queen g6. Threatening queen h7 mate. I don't see that black can escape.
It's tough. You just can't move anything.
Yeah.
Back to board number
Looks
one.
bad for black.
Queen h4, king g7.
Well, now queen e4. I guess then black can take and play f5 and h5 or something. Black's ahead in the race, but
Like
very...
at what point in like positions like this do you start saying, I gotta start pushing those pawns? Or are we not there yet?
The problem with white's position is that pushing the pawns on the queen side are just going to leave weaknesses, and black, you know, can switch over with moves like rook b8 or queen b6. Black still has a more solid position, and you know, if you could put that bishop on d5 or something, white would probably be equal.
Does it favor white to trade the queens or to keep them on?
Well, I mean, some kind of favorable exchange, like queen, like I don't want to play queen e4, allowing queen takes e4 and then f5 and h5. But even that probably is holdable. If the white bishop can get to d5, then I think then white's going to be fine.
Oh wow! And
Plays f4.
Karen Griffith has won the game.
Yeah.
Mate on the board.
Wow.
Yep. Congratulations to Karen.
Yeah, congratulations. A powerful game.
And
yeah.
Let's take a quick peek at Mike Walder's game.
Oh, Elliot has a perfect 222 rating.
Well, he had it, but now it's 2208.
Oh, okay.
With that loss, so. Mike Walder offered black a draw, and black declined it. So
black has no reason to refuse a draw here, but I mean, what happens if bishop c3 and white starts to play for mate?
Well, I guess black has a draw if he wanted it, right? Because he could just go queen d1 and then queen h5.
Yeah, and if king g3, queen g5, check. King f3. Actually, look at, yeah, white's playing for a win here. I mean, white's better. King position. Again, it's king position that counts for so much here. Yeah, black should definitely have taken the draw. Nice win, Karen.
Yeah, congratulations.
Again, it's the relative king position should determine what's going on here. Just this reminds me a little bit of the Gusenev game, which has kind of this theoretical opposite colored bishop draw, but
they drew. Eric Hahn,
Gusenev,
yeah, and Gusenov, they drew.
Wow.
They agreed to draw in this position here.
F4 was a good move, I think.
And Kyron's asking, you're asking what the engine says about your game?
Yeah, we don't know because we don't use the engine. You'll have to look at it up.
Yeah, but I'm curious at what point, because it looked like you were completely...
The engine thinks you're winning right here.
Yeah, in this position, the engine says you're +9. So,
What else do you need to know?
so you were good. You were good in that game. In the Guseyanov, just for like kicks, uh, Black has slight advantage, but I mean it looks pretty straight. Thing is that with this draw, Gadir gets clear first
Right.
place, and I'm sure that was in his mind. So Gadir's going to finish with 7 points and sole first place. Kyron Griffith a half point behind at 6.5, but the game that Mike Walder's playing is important because if Mike wins, he will tie with Kyron for second and third. But if Walder gets a draw, Kyron has second place all to himself. So,
Well,
and this is where we're at right
yeah,
now.
let's take a look at that. This is well played by Eric for sure. He gave the Grandmaster enough.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure Black is totally regretting refusing a draw here. And now Michael wins a pawn on the king side and can play f3 and g4 and maybe try to win. So White should just go ahead and take the wow, there might even be a mate. Queen check, king f7, queen h7, king e6. I mean, of course you start with this and take the pawn. Queen g8. Not quite. But now, oh, I see. The problem for this variation is that White can't, yeah. All right.
Is this gonna be a draw?
Yeah.
Pretty much, huh? Let's take a look at Akko Hidari and Nicholas Wang, and we'll keep an eye and see if they do indeed draw.
Guess White has some outside chances to win this, but
and Akko Hidari with 27 seconds left.
this is a funny little position. Why didn't White take on c? Well, I guess rook c8. No, why could it just taken on c4? Because if rook c8, then rook takes d3. So, I mean, I guess there could have been some trades and then rook d2 check and rook h2, but then White gets to go down to the 7th to the 8th rank, then the 7th rank, and win the pawn back. So maybe he's trying for more. White just wins the pawn back, and that's gonna. But now this allows bishop g4 check, and then the black rook comes down to d2. So I don't know.
Let's keep an eye on this game. This is
tough little position.
Arun Dixit and Chelsea. Chelsea Zhu, and Chelsea's up pawn is black. Interesting.
Oh yeah, this kind of looks like the Pillsbury Tarrasch game.
Wow, look at that.
Knight g6 check.
Yeah. And Mike Walder did draw that game.
So takes rook h3, bishop h7. You can take on g6. Yeah, you have to take on g6. And then White is seriously threatening rook h7. Oh, that could very well be a mistake. Maybe not. Rook h7, threatening rook g7 check. Can black play queen b2? Oh, this is bad. Rook g7 check.
Oh, what happened there? I think,
I think rook g. Oh, this is good too because rook f6 check.
yeah, and
Ah,
made it on the
hmm.
board. I think because she was down to 13 seconds, she played it quick.
Yeah, it's hard to think in those kind of situations.
So
Wow.
Akko and Nicholas Wang here,
And
and
Michael Walter drew.
yeah, so Kyron gets sole second place
Wow.
with
We lost to Gadir. Gadir played all the top players.
yeah,
Drew a couple of games.
yeah, drew a couple of games. There was probably some strategy in that, but they were tough games.
White has gone wrong here, of course, with this rook on the seventh rank now. And this is bad time pressure for both players.
Akko at 5 seconds.
I think White's going to lose a pawn. And it's maybe going to be 2 pawns before too long.
Oh.
A6 doesn't seem right. Although this does, yeah, probably doesn't do any harm. It might do harm.
Akko pushing. Akko playing with confidence. He's just like making moves.
Yeah, Black is playing some funny moves.
Well, thank you for joining us,
Yeah.
Robert
And
Swa, 2 a.m.
White's
Thank you
just
for
going
sticking
off the
around.
rails here, I think. There goes another pawn. Bishop c8.
Chile.
Well, Black should eventually win this, I think. Yeah. This is Bishop b7. Too many pawns down. White is too many pawns down. This does not help matters. It's an
Just feel like Nicholas playing with a lot of confidence here.
Yeah, he's getting the job done so far.
And
Players have hardly any time.
And Judith, is this the final game?
This is very exciting. Nice move.
Oh.
White's definitely in trouble here.
Oh wow! Look at that.
That's risky.
Oh, look at
Nice move.
Nice
Rook
move.
E4 is a brilliant move, of course.
Oh yeah! Look at that.
Well seen tactics.
Nice play by Nicholas Wang with
Yeah.
little time, but doing what he had to do.
Yeah, I'm finding a tactical shot. This is a good player, a young player that needs a little, little polishing. He needs a little polishing, but he's a strong player.
And there's 2 games left. And who's the other game? Who's playing? I can find it. Nice job by Ninja Force, aka Nicholas Wang. And he finished with a pretty good score. He's going to finish with six.
Wow.
Six out of eight.
Really?
Yeah.
6 points.
That'll
We're
tie
seeing
for
the
third.
changing of the guard here.
That'll tie for third.
Fantastic.
705. And one game apparently left. I don't know who's involved, but we should have the tentative final standings, and maybe even the prize pool by in a few minutes. Board 22. Christopher Bradley. All right, let's see. If you stay ready.
What a game. An evening of chess. 112% of the payout, huh?
Oh, this is going to be mate very soon. King G3. There we go.
Better than King G2. Of course, we have part of the board.
Oh, is it cut off? Oh,
Yeah.
well, that's annoying.
We get to see the exciting finale. This is my favorite part of the game. I don't have to,
Just-
black is
You
winning.
just sit
Good
back.
commentary. Yeah.
All right, just for aesthetics, let me fix the board here. And within a few minutes, I have no doubt Judith will have the prize pool and the final standings of the final Tuesday night marathon of 2020. And when you think about it, well, no, we always knew we were going to keep doing events, but but I mean, it wouldn't have been far fetched to say, yeah, that's we're not going to be having any marathons or something, but we moved everything online and kept it going. And thinking back, it's a lot of fun. It's kind of cool to think back on it. We were doing the Tuesday night onlines for free and streaming them and doing those, and now we've transitioned here, and we've come a long way since March.
Incredible.
And we're gonna ride it out and get through it, and we will be playing chess at Mechanics in 2021 is my prediction. And
Awesome, Abel.
we're gonna do it on Tuesday nights, just like it's always been, and we're still gonna have the Thursday night online marathon. So we're gonna provide an avenue for either way. You could still do both, and
Over the board play. You're predicting.
oh yeah, over the board. Yeah, we will be back in 2021 at Mechanics on Tuesday nights. So we'll be there, but we'll keep the Thursday online. Let's see if I refresh this thing.
The smoosh mate. I'm with you.
Almost.
Queen C1 is a kind of an interesting mate there too, or Queen B1.
And Mike Walder's in the chat. He misses 2 hours.
2-hour games. Yeah.
And for those, our Tuesday night marathons at the Mechanics Institute are FIDE rated, game in 2 hours +5. So, yeah. And we had several games go to that, all the way to the end, and then some, which are fun to watch. And even those games, for those of you that are actually following us and watching what we do, the Tuesday night marathon live at Mechanics, FIDE rated, top 10 boards and DGT boards. We broadcast those games. Paul doing the commentary at Mechanics, and I'm being told the tentative final standings are posted. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up here so we can put it on the screen. I don't know what I might have to do to fit it all, but all right, let's see if I can get this to show on the screen so that people can see the final and the prize payouts. And let me fix this so that you don't
Look
see.
at that. 1, 2, 3. The three titled players in the tournament.
There we go. Let me take our names off because you know who we are. Let me take the title off because you know what this is. And there you go. Take my name off. And that is the final tentative standings. Congratulations to Gadir. Let me actually, might as well put the whole thing on there, right? Gadir Gusainov, who finishes it off with clear first place, but not without a little bit of work. There you go.
And Nicholas Wang wins the top A prize or B prize. I mean, expert.
Yeah, there's class. So there's top
Under 2000.
under 2000, under 1800, under 16, under
Right.
1400, and
I expect he'll be a
top
master within a few months.
yeah, I mean he's and the thing he's been continuously playing here, right? So you know, he's still, he hasn't skipped a beat. He's been playing, and then you play at mechanics, you're playing tough competition.
And Ethan Boldy had a good tournament too.
Yeah, and that's great because he had a
And
second
Jonah.
round loss, and he bounced back from that. Jonah finished strong with 2 wins today.
Yeah.
So and even Mike Walder, he only lost 1 game to Elliott, and then he drew Gadir and then Curie. But fantastic.
Yeah.
And it looks like, from what I see, Chelsea Zhu will get top female. And the way we calculate that, it's the top overall score in any section. So even when we have section prizes, top females, the top score, whether it's in the bottom section or top section. And so, yeah, congratulations to all the winners. How's it going, Elliot?
And you've effectively cut me off from the stream, but that's okay.
Yeah, I had to do that in the
Hear my voice.
in the interest of information. So, and before we sign off and do all of that, just want to say thank you to Judith for running always a smooth, clean tournament. All the
Incredible.
all the rounds always start on time, and whenever there's a mistake, she fixes it right away. So thank you in the back, Judith, pairing, posting, doing all that stuff. It's all behind the scenes, but all of that stuff makes all of us look good.
Oh yeah.
But she doesn't get seen for doing it, but I know all the players know how hard she works. So thank you for providing a smooth experience for everyone. And before we sign off, I just want to say thank you to all the players, and thank you for everyone watching and the whole entire chess community. It's an honor and a pleasure for us to kind of like bring this for you. The interaction and engagement we get is in itself rewarding. Makes us feel proud and good about what we do. I have an absolutely amazing team at Mechanics with Paul and Judith and Nick and everyone. All of them make me look a lot better than I really am, and it's awesome, the community that we have. It's not even chess community; it's just the people community. And it's a lot of fun to be a part of that. And I remember, when I came in just a little over 2 years ago, I knew the mechanics community and the reputation it had, and I was an outsider. And
Not for long.
everyone took me in. Yeah, and it's a great thing to be a part of, because when you're part of this community, you sort of kind of, you're in, and it feels good to be a part of it, because it's a great feeling. It's a rewarding feeling every day, and I know Judith feels the same way, as do you, Paul and Nick. So thank you, everyone.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. and everybody have a great New Year.
Be safe
I
out
don't-
there.
Are we going to be seeing our folks before the New Year?
No, this is it. Like, this is the last
This is
stream. Yeah, the last stream. The last stream. But then they're gonna get a ton of us on a daily basis starting on July 3rd,
Right.
because we have the opening ceremony of the Pan Am, and then we have the 4th, 5th, and 6th. So it's 4 days of solid chess. Starting January 3rd. The games are 4th, 5th, and 6th. But for this year, this is the last stream of the year.
Amazing.
So
Um, uh, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Happy holiday. Thank you, everyone. I'm Abel Talamantes with FIDE Master Paul Whitehead and Dr. Judith Starry. We will see you very soon, but our email is always open. So any one of you have any questions or want to reach out for whatever reason, just reach out. You know, we get back to you right away. So, all right, everyone, be safe, and thank you for everything. We will see you very soon. We're going to raid the Chess Dojo. So we'll give the guys over there a little bit of love, and we will see everyone shortly. Thanks, everyone.